Hello once again and welcome to another episode of Dropkick. I am your host as always, Double C, and this is going to be for Smackdown for May 20th, 2011. Now this episode is the last one to the pay-per-view, which I'm also going to cover in just a little bit. But first, as always, we got to get through this stuff first. So, this show had a lot of matches in it. 7. So, let's get this thing started. It starts off with Christian versus Sheamus. I consider this a very interesting matchup, but kind of predictable considering what happened last week. But whatever. I think it was a pretty good match. Smackdown has been improving on match quality as of late, and I've been enjoying it. Pretty much it. Let's see. Christian wins with a small package, and Mark Henry immediately attacks Christian right afterwards. Let's see. Randy Orton, he comes out sort of. He watches for a little bit before he intervenes, saves Christian, probably trying to get, a little edge on the pay-per-view match. That's all right. Then we're treated to a John Cena and Miz package for the upcoming I Quit match, which was all right. At this point, I was thinking, was this a super show? And then I started to look for the referees in the corner. This was actually a taped show. A separate show, not a super show. So the Bellas are backstage. They say they're on the same page. Okay, whatever. Moving on. Brie Bella versus Natalya. I consider this match a clinic. On one side, of course. Natalya is so much better than the Bellas, so much more talented. It's just, Natalya basically schools Brie Bella until Bella somehow gets an X Factor in and wins. So stupid. They really need to take the belt off of the Bellas and put it on someone who can wrestle. It was great when Natalya was champion. It was great when Beth Phoenix was champion. And I bet it would be great if Karma gets the title eventually. But until then, we have to suffer through this. Just like at the pay-per-view, we would have to suffer through, Kelly versus Brie Bella. Another Bella match. Let's see. Ezekiel Jackson eventually comes out after a commercial break. He gets on the mic and he basically does the whole, I wanted to see if I needed the core. And it turns out, I don't. And it also turns out, they needed me, so therefore I'm good and they're bad. Which is alright, really. The core comes out, they're pissed off, they start fighting. Teddy Long comes out, he says, hold on player, we're going to make this an even matchup. It's going to be a 6-man tag team match. The core versus these two. And of course, it's Big Show and Kane. All things considered, it's not a very even matchup. You got tag team champions, 2 giants, and another up-and-coming giant versus 2 scrawny guys and I guess you can call Wade Barrett a big guy, but he's not really that big. But you know what I mean. This match, I didn't like it that much. Ezekiel Jackson eventually wins with a torture rack, which I haven't seen him do yet, but, if he has a whole bunch of different ways to win, I think that's a good thing. Then we don't have to, you know, suffer through Batista bombs all the time. Even though Batista did win with the Spinebuster a few times up against Mark Henry and some of the bigger guys. Let's see. Christian is backstage. He says that he saw that Orton took his time to the ring and he's going to win at the pay-per-view no matter what. Let's see. This next match is kind of interesting. It's Chavo Guerrero versus Daniel Bryan in a 5-minute challenge. Chavo, he couldn't do it. He couldn't beat Daniel Bryan in 5 minutes. Which, he got close. Chavo hit the frog splash on Daniel Bryan, but of course Daniel Bryan kicked out because he's just that plain awesome. And it almost turned out that Daniel Bryan was going to beat Chavo overall. But after the 5 minutes, the bell rings, he didn't win. It's pretty much a one-sided match when you think about it like that. Nobody won the match. I guess Daniel Bryan kind of won, but he really didn't. So, nobody won. Woo! Okay, let's see. What's next? 5th match of the night. Crap. Okay. Ted DiBiase with Cody Rhodes versus Trent Beretta. It's a squash match. Khali versus Jey Uso. Also a squash match. Randy Orton and Mark Henry. There was a disqualification. I'm trying to hurry up because my battery's going to run out. Okay, so Randy Orton versus Mark Henry. I hated this match because Mark Henry does not deserve to be in the main event. Let's see. There's a disqualification from Sheamus. Christian stands on the ramp, waits for a while, and then eventually comes in. Both Christian and Randy Orton beat up the other two. After an RKO on Mark Henry, Randy Orton jumps up in the air, does the aerial splits, and then does some sort of motion. He goes, oh, afterwards. This is like the craziest thing I have ever seen Randy Orton do, and that's beyond him spazzing out every single match. Okay, I gotta quickly talk about Over the Limit too. Okay. Over the Limit. No title changes. Michael Cole finally lost his match to Jerry Lawler. The big plan the Miz had was he was going to make a kid in the crowd. Yeah, that's real professional of me. I'm continuing anyways. So the kid says to the Miz that no, he is not going to quit. John Cena will never quit. Okay, that's fine. It comes down to Alex Riley. He has a cell phone and has a voice clip queued up of John Cena saying, "I quit." He basically gets John Cena into a corner, has the microphone and the cell phone, and it says, "I quit." Okay. The ref figures this out eventually. Restarts the match. And John Cena wins 3 seconds later with an STF, and The Miz quits. Bailed out once again to John Cena. He can't win on his own, it looks like. He gets bailed out. Because last time John Cena had an I Quit match, no, it was last man standing match. He taped Batista's feet to the ring post so he couldn't get up. This is how John Cena operates. He wins matches by not winning matches, and yet he gets bailed out every single time. He's not a credible champion anymore. He says that he's credible. He's powerful, yes, But still, he is lucking out several times. It's almost like, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but the Honky Tonk Man and his year-long Intercontinental title reign. Even though a lot of those ones were for a DQ and all that stuff. But it's kind of the same thing, kind of not, kind of is. Oh, and other interesting note. Let's see. Booker T, I haven't seen the tape, but I hear that Booker T goes ballistic. I wouldn't really say ballistic, but he gets really excited in his commentating. So I got to see the tape on this. I have it taped. I was busy while I was doing this, but anyways, I have it taped. I need to watch that. Also, today is Raw. Raw is going to be in Portland today. I'm going to be there. I'm going to tape a couple segments. I can't do it inside the building. I'll do it outside, you know. So, and there will be a full recap afterwards outside the Rose Garden, and hopefully it'll still be daylight. We'll see if there's a dark match right after the show. Okay? Anyways, I'm Double C, and this has been a Dropkick.